Hi guys, just a little bit of an update on the previous video. I'm going to talk a little bit about the pump, a little bit about the Haldex, what I've purchased this week and what we didn't get fitted because the weather was that bad. So here goes. So in the last video we spoke about the power steering failing, and it turned out it was the pump that had failed. I'm going to open the pump up just to show you what's inside. These are the components inside the pump. Now, this is the back side of the pump, and you can see the wear on this back face. Now, this wear was, I don't know if you can see it on there. This wear was caused by this back face rubbing, but also this inner face here. You can see this is this one's scored really bad. That's also got that rubbing on that. So we've also got an outer ring which this inner sits in, and as it spins out, these little teeth fly out under centrifugal force. And that is what pumps your oil round. In the bottom of the pump, you've got your feed going in. Your feed going in runs into this hole here. And you've got your feed coming out, which is here. Pulley sits on this back side and spins, which turns the internals, which also turns this disc with the blades on. So inside of here you've got an O-ring on the outer and on the inner. And they just sit on the back of this disc in the bottom, and then it's all down to the clearance. To stop any leaks. Once you start getting a bit of wear on, your oil will start passing, and it'll go between the grooves on here. And that's how you start losing pressure on your power steering. Now this one made a high pitch whine, and then I lost all pressure. And this one was, which side was it? It's hard to tell because I've cleared it up, but this one actually had picked a little bit of metal up and ended up scoring the full face. So this is what's inside your power steering pump. So next I want to talk about the Haldex unit. As for those who have changed it, this will be a familiar sight. We've got clutch plates and discs. We've also got a filter, got a solenoid valve, gasket, we've got our pump. So servicing the Haldex unit, normally it would just be a case of gasket, filter and an oil change. To do the oil change, you would remove this outer case. This outer case here. This is how it's set in the car. This is how it would fill up, and then this is how it would top up through here. So as you can see inside of this one, it's quite dirty, but actually gets really dirty, and it's a mixture of the oil, and it's a mixture of the clutch plate and the disc wearing. So on my I had these discs and these clutch discs. Now mine was like thick grey sludge coming off, and that was because all of the coating had come off mine. It's a bit more of a up close look. So yeah, these are the upgraded ones, these are the standard ones. You can see I'm not actually sure what material they are, but these are just steel rings. So for your normal service, it would just be gasket, your only filter. Some people that have issues would change their pump, and on top of your surface of your clutch plates, you also need a new gasket on the top, which that normally comes with a kit. So if I show you, this is my clutch basket here. It would have the thick clutch disc, at the bottom, clutch plate, thin, and so on. Now this centre shaft here, this would turn. Can you hear that? Now this would turn, and it's actually turning the fibre discs inside of here. And then on the outside of this, you've got this clutch basket. This has actually got a drive on it. Now this will spin, so you've got two units that are independent to spin. When you put pressure on the pump, the clutch engages. Now it engages like this inside of here, and this will push out over. So this is a clutch basket fully built up, and this shaft is free to spin. Now under pressure, this will lock up, and this will actually drive the rear wheels. So this part of the Haldex unit, which is the part which sits on it, the part which you drain of oil, this would get a new filter to go in here, like so. So this is where your filter would sit. Down here is where your pump sits. New gaskets and clips into place like so. Your clutch comes all the way through. Here. On this side here, this is where the rear drive is. And on this side is where you've got a gasket goes on. This side bolts up to the rear diff, So on this side of the Haldex unit, this is where one of the solenoids sits. This plugs into place. Now this allows pressure from the pump to fill the chamber. In this chamber, pressure builds up into this accumulation chamber. So your pump will only run for 5 seconds and then it'll stop. But this side of the Haldex unit actually stores the pressure, and then when it needs it, it can release through another solenoid, which then engages the clutch to the drive, which gives you the 4-wheel drive. So I had a post on a few weeks ago with one of those fittings on the side here. Now they're just aluminium, and your pipe just fits inside, and it's held on with a tiny little clip, and that stops it from popping back out. Now I know somebody else was actually looking for hardline pipes and was thinking of using copper. If they're not damaged, you don't need to replace them. If anything, these aluminium fittings will damage if you strip them down, or they could break off if there gets any sort of corrosion on. So this is the rear part of the Haldex unit, or should I say diff, drive shaft. This is the other solenoid which operates the flow of oil, and this is where the two meet up. So these are the two units that join together that make up the rear all-wheel drive system. Haldex unit on the front, which is driven by the prop, and the back end, which is your main diff, which drives your drive shafts. So just to show you the back end of the diff, the side case comes off. Now this is where the main diff is inside. So your Haldex unit connects to this shaft. This shaft would spin, would engage to this shaft, which would in turn turn the rear axles. Now, as you can see with this one, this has had major failure inside. But this is what it looks like inside the diff. So if anybody else needs any more information on the rear diff, give us a shout. I can get some videos or photos for you. And then lastly, I just want to show you the items that were in the what's in the box on the channel through the week. And it is new shockers for the car. The plan is I'm going to remove these original springs and install the H&R springs that I bought, and then I'll just reinstall these shockers, and hopefully looks all nice and shiny. So thanks for watching, and here's a little sneak peek of what's in the next video.